Hi, welcome to the video Code and Deploy Java XML Web Services on Apache Tomcat server with me, Namaming from CodeJava.net. In this video tutorial, you will learn how to configure a Java web application to host Java XML Web Services. So the web services can be accessed simple by clients. And I will show you how to code a simple Java web application running on Apache Tomcat server and configure the web application to host XML web services and code a web service client program to test the web service. Here are the software programs I use. First, it is Java Development Kit JDK version 8 or newer. Second, Eclipse IDE version 2019 September. And third is Apache Tomcat 9.0 server. Of course, you can use the latest versions of these software programs. And here are the steps. First, we need to create a Java Dynamic Web project with Maven support. Then we specify Java XML Web Services runtime dependency. And then we code a simple Java XML Web Services. And then we need to configure Web Services endpoints. And then we configure a Java XML Web Service listener and Servlet. And finally, we code a web service client program to test the web service. This is Eclipse IDE on my computer. Now let's create a new Java Dynamic Web project. Click this link. Enter the project name as, for example, my app. Click next, and check this option to generate the web XML deployment descriptor file. Finish. Okay, we got a Java Dynamic Web project created here, and we need to convert this project to have Maven view support. Right click and configure convert to Maven project, and enter the group ID as map.codejava. Click finish, and we got a Maven project here, and you can see the Maven project file .xml is open here, and now we need to specify the dependency for Java XML Web Service runtime. Dependency. The group ID is com.sun.xml.ws, and artifact ID is Java API for XML Web Service hyphen runtime, and version is 2.3.2 is the latest version of Java XML Web Service runtime as of now. You can find the latest version on Maven central repository. Okay, and save the file, and you will see Maven will automatically download all the required Java files. You see, all these are the Java files required for Java XML Web Service runtime. Okay, and let's change the version of Java to JDK 8. So So I choose add. Yeah, I choose JDK 1.8.0. Finish. Apply and close. Okay, so choose JDK 1.8.0 for the project. Next, let's create a simple Java XML Web Services class. Create a new Java package here. Package name is net.code Java. Finish and create a new Java class under this package class and enter the class name as hello. Finish. And we annotate this class using the web service annotation. Let me fix the Eclipse error that doesn't automatically brings the conversion list. Java editor container assist advanced and check this option. Okay. And choose annotation web service from the package JAX.JWS. Yeah. And we create a simple web service method using the web method annotation. Public string bonjour. This method takes a parameter is the name and returns a greeting message. Return bonjour plus name. That's very simple web service class, web service method, and we use a soap binding annotation here to specify a binding type. Style for the web service is RPC. Okay. So this is a very simple Java XML web service. And next, we need to configure endpoints interface for the web services so that they can be discoverable and accessible by clients. To do so, we need to create a HTML file under the web and app directory in the project here. I click new other and type XML. Choose HTML file. Next, and enter the file name as sun-java API for XML web services, not XML, and click finish. Now we type the element endpoints. XML namespace is http:// java/xml/namespace/ns/java API for XML web service /reference implementation RI and /runtime, and version is 2.0, and specify an endpoint. For the web service, we have created this endpoint as name hello web service, and implementation is a fully qualified class name of the web service. Implementation equal net.codejava.hello. You see, our web service class is hello, and under the package net.codejava. So we need to specify the implementation is in the package name and then the class name. So it is net.codejava.hello, and we specify the URL pattern. For the web service endpoint is /. Here I specify the URL pattern is /ws/hello. And now we need to configure a listener and a servlet for Java XML Web Service. Open the web deployment descriptor file web.xml file here. And here we need to specify a listener for Java XML Web Service. Listener class. Listener class name is com.sun.xml.ws.http.servlet.ws servlet context listener. You see, and then we need to configure Java servlet to handle requests for the web services. Servlet name is Java XML Web Service servlet, and servlet class is com.sun.xml.ws.transport.http.servlet and .ws servlet. So that's the fully qualified name of the servlet class. We handle the request for the web services. And then we need to specify the URL mapping for this servlet mapping. Copy the servlet name here, paste, and specify the URL pattern is /ws/**. So all the URLs that starts with /ws will be handled by this servlet. And you notice that the URL pattern here should Match the URL pattern in the endpoint interface configuration here. You see. Oh, sorry, I have a typo here. This should be a version, not version. Okay, version. Okay, now we can deploy our web application on Apache Tomcat server to discover the web services. So click here to add server and choose Tomcat version 9.0 here. Next, and to add our project to the server. Finish. Here we go, and start the server. Okay, the server is up and running, and you can see in the logging the console view, the logging message in the console view. This means the Java XML Web service is Servlet is initialized. Okay, and our server is listening on port 80. Okay, and open the Chrome browser to discover the Java XML Web Service. Enter the URL here is http localhost my app ws/hello, and you see the web services page appears, and it shows the information about the endpoint for hello web service here, and this is the URL for the WSDL. Click here and you can see the XML document that describes our web service, and we will code a web service client program to invoke the web service based on this WSDL URL. Now I create a new Java project to code the test client program. File, new, simple Java project. Java project here. Next, and the project name is my clan. Use JDK 1.8. Next, finish. Open perspective. Okay, and we have our Java project for the web service client program here. And now let's use the web service import tool to generate client code based on the web service URL here. Open command prompt in Windows, and type the command ws import, enter, and you see this is a web service import tool provided by Java Development Kit. and I change the current directory to the project directory. The cd web service cd to the my clan project directory, and go to the source directory, and now I type the command to generate the code, put the code to this directory. You see ws import, use the flag keep to keep the generated file, and use the flag p to put the package for the generated class file. Sorry, we don't need to keep the generated class file. Just use the flag b to specify the package name net.code.java and specify the URL for the web service: http localhost my app ws hello question wsdl. Let's check the URL. Okay, and hit enter, and you see passing WSDL, generating code, compiling code. And let's back to our project and refresh the project. Refresh, and you see the let's see, refresh. Let's open the directory. Sorry, we use a command here to see that. We need to, sorry, we need to use a keep flag as well. Refresh, and now you see the generated Java code for the current program. Hello is the interface, and hello service is service client class, you can see here. And now we create a new test program, test class, and enter the class name as hello test, and check the option, this option to create the main method. Finish, and type hello service equal new hello service, and hello equal service dot get hello pot, and invoke the method bonjour, and pass the argument to the method name. This method returns a string, so assign the return value response, and print the response to the standard console. Okay, and now let's run this web service client program. Run this Java application, and you see in the console view it printed Bonjour Nam Ming. That means it is successfully working. It is successfully invoking the web services. So that you have learned how to code and deploy Java XML Web Services on Apache Tomcat server, and to host Java XML Web Services on Tomcat, the key points is specify the Java XML Web Service runtime dependency, configure web services endpoints, and configure listener and Servlet for Java XML Web Services. Here, the dependency for Java XML Web Services. And here's the configuration of the web service endpoint interface. And here is the configuration of the listener class and Servlet for Java XML Web Services. Thank you for watching, and click the subscribe button to subscribe to my Java programming channel.